com.
Happening over there.
Russian forces invasion of Ukraine.
Happening right here.
Deadly crimes have surged.
The rising costs.
No matter where it happens, your world happens.
On a daily basis, getting updates.
Here, News Talk 820 WBAP and 99.5 FM HD2.
Just a minute away, we'll get you updated on traffic at 7:21. This is Ernie Brown in for Brian Estridge along with Hal J. I've noticed that the house prices have not come down. However, there are houses staying on the market a lot longer than they have.
Oh,
been.
yeah?
Yeah, but I think the interest rates are starting to kind of chip into people's desire to jump in and buy.
I know personally that is happening. Not to me, but some people very close to me. It's killing them.
Yeah, it's amazing just a couple of interest rate points, what that's going to do to the cost of your house on a monthly basis.
Oh, my gosh.
All right,
it's horrible.
We're going to talk to Cliff Freeman coming up here in a moment. He is a real estate expert. He knows all about this kind of thing. We'll find out what the market is actually looking like. But right now, let's go to Monty Cook, and let's see what the freeways actually look like.
Still heavy, I-35 east southbound, coming off of Commonwealth, or 183 down to Commonwealth. The earlier wreck now gone. 635 eastbound Marsh Lane, that one in the two right lanes. It's heavy to I-35E. And the problem spot I-30 on the eastbound side around Fielder is still keeping you pretty heavy to East Chase Parkway. Our next update within 10 minutes for WBAP's First Traffic on the Ones. I'm Monty Cook.
Brought to you by DART.
Pain at the pump? Take DART for rapid relief. Their buses and trains give you the affordable, hassle-free commute you deserve. For savings every ride, just hop aboard and leave high gas prices behind.
Brad Barton in the WBAP Weather Center. We're going to be 103 for the high this afternoon. A low tonight, 80. Our heat stress index still going to be near 105 in the shade. More humidity in the next few days. So even with temperatures 101 to 103 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it'll still feel like 105 in the shade each afternoon. So the heat advisories will continue. A slight chance of isolated showers and storms near or south of us. Late this afternoon, they'll be widely scattered, no more than 20% coverage if we get them at all. Right now, we have 82 degrees in Dallas, and in Fort Worth, it's 79 degrees.
Cliff Freeman joins us from the Cliff Freeman Group. Very cleverly named after you, I would assume, Cliff.
How'd you get the name?
Yeah, where'd that come from?
That was the last one left. I didn't know what else to call it.
Good. All right. Well, let's talk about what the real estate market is looking like out there right now. There's still plenty of houses that I look at that I say I'd love to own it, but they're too high priced for me. And now with interest rates higher, I'm wondering how this is going to affect the market long term.
Well, gentlemen, you're absolutely correct. There's two parts to affordability. One is the price of the house. The other is the rent on the money that we use. And for most people who need a loan, that can be the largest part of the payment that we write to the mortgage company every month. And as you recall, at the end of last year, we had rates down in the low threes. They're up in the low fives now. And, you might just want to recall that for every 1% increase in rates at this level, buyers are losing about 10% of their buying power. So that alone has caused buyers to lose roughly 20% of their buying power just in the increase in rates alone.
I would have thought that would have brought house prices down by, 20% by now.
Well, the issue is, again, it's all about supply and demand. It's still tight inventory, but the shift is real. It's not going to be catastrophically bad this time, but there is an inflection point, and I think that we have likely seen, prices, near the top, at least for the year. This is seasonally when prices peak around the 4th of July, just due to seasonal factors.
So you're young and you're waiting and you just got married and you're going to get a house. Now then, do you wait and think, well, we're going to wait till prices come down. We're going to wait till interest rates come down. And does it really ever?
Well, and that's a great question. The thing is that my crystal ball, if it was really any good, I'd be, doing something else right now. But we just really don't know. And it's hard to predict where rates are going. The Fed is trying to pump the brakes on the economy right now. The yield curve is inverted, which is normally an indicator of a recession. We've really had 2 quarters of, negative GDP growth here. So, and at least from my chair, we're in a recession. How bad it gets is another issue. But back to the old supply and demand matter, at least in our market here, we've had such population growth and such a strong job market that it really has pushed the pendulum to an extreme as far as demand goes. And we've still got a lot, even though it's not as robust as it was.
Explain this to me one more time. And by the way, Cliff Freeman of the Cliff Freeman group is with us, Cliff Freeman Jr., broker associate. Okay. If you can do it quickly, that'll be best for me. That's easier for me to understand. The economy is bad, and we need to help the people buy houses and get interest rates. So let's go ahead and jack up the interest rates. That's going to help the economy. Can you explain to me how that's good?
Well, so again, what the Fed controls are very short-term rates. They're rates that banks charge each other money, or when banks go to borrow money for the Fed for overnight purposes. So when we hear about a 75 basis point increase in the Fed funds rate, that may or may not impact the 10-year Treasury, which is what mortgage-backed securities are priced off of. So just to break that down, just because you hear that the Fed is raising rates does not necessarily mean that mortgage rates are going to go up. In fact, about a week or so ago, we saw rates come down about 40 basis points, and the Fed is still in an aggressive posture here to raise rates. So remember that these markets are forward-looking, and mortgages are 30-year mortgages that are priced off of a 10-year security. So traders are looking down the road 10 years out over that whole period, whereas the Fed is very short-term in their thinking and their ability to change rates. Does that make sense?
Well, I ask you to tell it to me real quickly.
With small words.
With small words. And I'm completely reconfused now. Thank you very much.
All right. Cliff, actually, you did fine.
Yeah, I'm teasing. Thank you very much.
I'll explain it to him in the break. Cliff Freeman with Cliff Freeman Group. We'll talk to you again. Thanks so much for coming on WBAP's Morning News.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you.
You bet.
All right. It's 7:37. LeBron James has an idea for Brittany Griner. And it's not going to be a popular one with many people.
All right. Nicole has the 7:30 news next.
President Biden stops in Israel today with energy top of mind. Story is next.
Hi, Stubby here for Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. Summer is here. The ground is drier. And when the ground gets drier, then it gets a little bit hard and it starts to shift around and it could break some pipes in the house. And again, there's another problem, plumbing problem that nobody really needs. So here's an idea for you. Why don't you phone up Benjamin Franklin Plumbing? Have them come out and do the $79 drain cleaning special. They can see if you got a broken pipe down there for whatever reason, whether it's tree roots poking holes in it or if it's the shifting of the dirt because it's so dry up under the house. Any of those things. They can find out if you got what the problem is, and then they can fix it because